Hi everybody, it's Kristin, and I decided that I would do a tag video on this channel. And speaking of that, as I get myself situated here, I do have hair, by the way. I realize it looks kind of funny from the front. Maybe I should sit like this. Anyway, if you guys have any kind of these fun tags that you want me to do, let me know below and I'll try to do them. I had a list for a while of a bunch of tags I was going to do on this channel, and I can't locate the list now, so I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, I've seen a bunch of people do this tag lately, and I thought that it would be fun. And it currently is, what time is it? Like 6:20 in the morning, and today is Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. I am ready to go out the door because we were getting a bunch of snow and there's ice underneath it and blah, blah. But I wanted to wait for a little bit of daylight, and I thought, well, perfect opportunity for me to film a tag with my normal camera so that it's a little bit clearer. I don't know why you care. So anyway, here we go. That was a lot of ramble, huh? And that's why I'm all bundled up, because it's like cold and snow. And so I love the 80s is the tag. I think the tag is actually I heart the 80s. I don't heart, I heart. You know, can't we just say I love? Is that really so that? Anyway, I love the 80s. And so there were just 5 categories that you were supposed to say like your favorite thing from those categories. So, you know, this is just going to be a discussion on the 80s. So favorite movie. By the way, I did record this one time before, and I was sitting on my bed and I had the camera kind of propped up, but because I was on my bed, it was moving all over the place, and so I had to scrap it and start over. But what's funny about that is that I said a bunch of movies, and then I IMDb'd them after, and they were a lot of them were from the 90s. But so I'm gonna go with, you know, there are a lot of the classics that people like, but one of the ones I haven't heard anybody talk about that I loved was, I can't remember if it's See No Evil, Hear No Evil, or Hear No Evil, See No Evil. But it had Richard Pryor and I think Gene Hackman is his name. It's hysterical. It's really funny. And I really enjoyed that movie. By the way, I was born in 1973. So in 1980, obviously, I was 7. And so then 7 to 17, that's kind of the age range for me for the 80s. Excuse me. So I really think that was one of my favorite. I liked Pretty Woman, and I think I looked that up, and that might have been 89 or 90. I don't know. But, I mean, a lot of the movies that I liked seemed to be more like 1990 for some reason. So they don't count. Okay, favorite TV show. I have a few of those. One of my favorites was Greatest American Hero, which I don't know, I found absolutely hysterical. My dad and I used to watch that together, and he really liked that. Another one my dad and I watched together was The A-Team. I just thought that was so funny. And to this day, my dad will say, I love it when a plan comes together. My dad's a hoot. And then, The Cosby Show. I really, really liked The Cosby Show. That was a fun one. Okay, favorite music artist. You know, the 80s just had great music. I don't know, like musically it wasn't all that stellar, but you know, for just dancing, having a good time, I don't know, maybe it's just because I associate, you know, obviously age 7 through 17 with that music, but, you know, I really liked Whitney Houston. I liked, you know, Bobby Brown, not the makeup artist, but not that I don't like her, but, and Tears for Fears, Chicago, I don't know. There was not much music that I didn't like. Loved Madonna. I still like Madonna. Loved Michael Jackson and still like him. I don't like his other stuff, but his music was fantastic. I really try to, and I've said this in other things, if somebody is famous for, you know, a talent of theirs, I really try to focus on their talent and not delve into their personal life, because, Top Gun, that was a movie I liked. Speaking of somebody who kind of went crazy. But anyway, I really try not to delve into their personal life, because nobody's delving into my personal life. So I really try to focus on the talent that they are known for, if that makes sense. Kind of like that's what I love Tiger Woods, and I don't really care about what he did outside of golf because I focus on his golf. Okay, off soapbox. So those are some of my favorite music artists. My favorite look from the 80s. Goodness gracious. I don't, you know, there were a lot of looks that people wore that I couldn't wear, just because, that my parents weren't going to spend all kinds of money. There were four of us kids all at home during the 80s, and my parents weren't going to spend money on, kind of the name brand things. But I have a couple of funny little stories for you. So when I was in fourth grade, I distinctly remember that knickers were all the rage. So how old are you in fourth grade? 10 years old? So, yeah, that would have been what, like 83-ish, something like that. And so the knickers were like, they came down to your knees, and then you would wear high socks with them. And the ones that were cool had suspenders. So I distinctly remember getting a pair for Christmas and wearing them to school like the very first day back. I totally, even though my mom told me not to, totally fell on the playground, put a hole in them, and then they had to have a patch on them on the inside the rest of the time that I wore them, but I still wore them. So I don't know if anybody else remembers that. I think it was probably a short period of time that knickers were all the rage, but there definitely was a period of time. Another thing that I remember, and this is, I think I was probably a junior. So this is like 89, so late 80s. Do you guys remember Outback Red, the brand Outback Red? I think it was maybe like the Limited or Express or Benetton or some kind of store. Oh, do you remember the perfume Benetton? Or the perfume colors that you could buy at Benetton? Anyway, I liked that perfume. So Outback Red, I just remember that I had a t-shirt. I saved up with my own money to buy it. It wasn't like something super fancy. It literally was just a t-shirt with kind of a different little neck, but it had the Outback Red initials right here, just kind of embroidered in the same thread color as the t-shirt. Totally remember that. And I wore the crap out of that t-shirt because I thought it was all that and a bag of chips when I was wearing it. And another look from the 80s, and I think Gina mentioned this, is banana clips. I loved me a banana clip, but here's a funny banana clip story for you. So back in the day when we lived in Pennsylvania, my dad was not a minister. He was an industrial engineer. And he and my mom were both in the choir in the church that we went to. So they're up in the choir loft, and in that church, the sanctuary was here looking towards the pulpit, and the choir loft was up above, so the choir could see down onto the congregation. So I was taking an offering. We always did things as part of confirmation class. So I must have been probably 9th grade, old enough to know better. So I was quite the fashionista. As a matter of fact, I can remember exactly what I was wearing. But I had a banana clip in my hair, and you remember how they used to kind of start to fall down a little bit? Well, we'd collected the offering. It wasn't time to take it up yet. They were still finishing the, offertory hymn. And so I put the offering plate down on the ground, and I fixed my banana clip, and I picked it back up, and I looked up, and the entire choir loft is laughing, except for my parents, particularly my mom, who is giving me what my siblings and I call the crooked jaw. It's kind of this like look of death, and she like, I can't even do it, but you're in trouble if you're getting the crooked jaw. So she gave me the crooked jaw look, and yeah, now it's a funny story that everybody talks about. So those are a couple of funny look things from the 80s. And then your favorite year, I don't know. The 80s were tricky for me. When I was in 7th grade, we moved from Wisconsin to Pennsylvania because of my dad's job. And we lived there my 7th grade through my 11th grade year. And not funny, it wasn't at the time, but that 7th grade year, we started school here at the normal time. But in the city that we moved to, the teachers were on strike. So they didn't even start school until like 3 or 4 days before we started school there. And so I went to school that year for like 220 days. And that is no joke. It's a lot of school, let me tell you. So anyway, we moved out there, and then in my senior year, the summer before my senior year of high school, we moved back to Wisconsin, not to the same city, a different city, about 2 hours away-ish, an hour and a half from where we were living, again, for my dad's job. So while it was I don't have a favorite year, and it was an interesting decade for me, the move was absolutely part of God's plan. It was, if you watched my dad's, when I read the first article that my dad wrote, where he's talking about second endings, there absolutely was a reason why. I had so many opportunities that senior year. I got to go sing in Carnegie Hall with a choir. I got to do another trip with a band and orchestra. And I have some lifelong friends that I met that year that I'm still very close with. So it was a good second ending. All right, so that is the I Love the 80s tag. I hope that you enjoyed that and that it wasn't too completely boring with all my weird stories. I'm going to try to convert this and get this up for you today if I can. If not, you guys will see this on Thursday. And this weekend I have Maggie's first birthday party. What? And I'm making her cake, you know, the one that she's going to dig into. So I'm going to try to do some kind of vlogging throughout the weekend if I can. Her party's on Saturday. I'm also getting my hair finally cut and colored on Saturday. I don't know what I'm doing with it, but something. Yeah, so those are kind of some things that'll be coming up. And again, if you have any tags you guys want me to do that I haven't done that I said I would do and I didn't do, then go ahead and list those below. I hope that you guys are having a great week, and I will talk to you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!